You're probably not here because something dramatic happened. It's quieter than that. It's the feeling of being tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. The sense that even small decisions feel heavy. The strange numbness where nothing feels urgent, but everything feels important. If you're listening to this, there's a good chance you've been carrying more than you let yourself admit. Not just tasks. Expectations. Pressure to keep up. Pressure to stay motivated. Pressure to not fall behind in a world that never really slows down. And somewhere along the way, your system decided it needed to protect you. That's what this feels like. Emotional fatigue doesn't announce itself loudly. It doesn't crash in like panic. It settles in quietly. You still show up. You still function. But inside, constant low-level exhaustion. Like your mind is always slightly braced, waiting for the next demand. You might notice you avoid things you care about, not because you don't want them, but because engaging feels like it would cost more energy than you have. You scroll instead of starting. You delay instead of deciding. You rest, but the rest doesn't feel restful. And then the guilt appears. The thought that says, you should be doing more, that other people seem to handle life better, that maybe this means something is wrong with you. I want to pause there, because that thought is not accurate. What you're experiencing is not a lack of discipline. It's not laziness. It's not a character flaw. It's a nervous system that has been on mode for too long. When life feels demanding for extended periods, your system adapts. It becomes cautious. It conserves energy. It looks for safety, not progress. And sometimes, safety looks like doing nothing. Doing nothing feels safer because it reduces input, no decisions, no expectations, no risk of failing or disappointing anyone. From the outside, it looks like avoidance. From the inside, it feels like relief. That's not failure. That's protection. Your mind is not trying to sabotage you. It's trying to keep you from overload. In high pressure. Cultures, especially in the US and Europe, were taught to override this signal. To push through. To optimize. To stay productive even when we're depleted. So when your system finally slows you down, it feels wrong. It feels like you're falling behind. But what's actually happening is regulation. When you're emotionally fatigued, clarity disappears. Motivation doesn't respond to force. And self only increases the load. That's why trying harder often makes things worse. Your system isn't asking for more effort. It's asking for less threat, less pressure to perform. Less urgency. Less internal commentary about who you should be right now. Once pressure drops, something subtle happens. Your breathing changes, your thoughts soften. The fog begins to thin. Not because you fixed yourself, but because you stopped fighting the signal. You don't need to earn rest. You don't need to justify slowness. You don't need a breakdown to be allowed to pause. You're allowed to move at a pace that doesn't hurt. Progress doesn't disappear when you slow down. It waits, and when your system feels safe again, motivation returns naturally, not as adrenaline, but as quiet curiosity, small pull toward something that feels manageable. That's how real momentum works. Not through pressure, through permission. Right now, you don't need to decide your future. You don't need a plan. You don't need to be productive. You just need to recognize that what you're feeling makes sense. You are not behind. You are responding. And when you stop judging that response, your system begins to trust you again. There's nothing you need to do after this ends. Nothing to fix. Nothing to optimize. Just allow yourself to be where you are without argument. That's not giving up. That's intelligence. And when you're ready, movement will come back on its own quietly. Naturally, for now, it's enough to be here.